Good morning, Kinettes. Welcome to this beautiful yoga session that I am going to host for you today for your retreat. I'm very honored and blessed to have been asked to do this for the Kinettes for this year. My name is Mackenzie Peterson, and I am a recreation therapist and yoga practitioner. I also am a brand new time mom. I'm able to sneak away from mat leave to come and engage in this session, so thank you so much. And I am very passionate about yoga and all that it does to relax our nervous system, bring us into a sense of gratitude, especially in the mornings, as well as it just allows you to be present with yourself, stay present within the moment, and connect your breath with your movements and just be in tune with your body. So I'm very excited that you have chosen to engage in some yoga this morning. A little bit of housekeeping to start off. I encourage everyone to have a blanket, so a soft blanket or a sweater on hand just for the end of the session. We are going to break a little bit of a sweat today, not too much. We're focusing on flowing and stretching all of those joints and muscles that might be a little tense after a day of travel from wherever you came from. And but we'll have to cool down at the end, and you might want to be a little warm. I also encourage a water bottle close by, and we also have a gratitude practice towards the end that I will be leading you through. It's very short, very simple. You can have a journal and a pen on hand for this practice, but it's not necessary. You can also stay in a meditation and engage in this practice as well. So without further ado, I would love for us all to get started on the mat. So in a nice, beautiful seated position, you can sit up basically however you'd like, whatever is comfortable for you. This practice is for everyone. So this is an initial position that you can always come back to if you're feeling tired, fatigued, strained during a pose. You can come back to the seated pose at any time. Right now I am in a seated butterfly, so I have my feet together, knees out to the side, but you can also have your legs crossed, whatever is most comfortable for you. But I would just like to invite everyone to gently close their eyes and beginning to focus on the breath. During the busyness of our lives, maybe the excitement of a wonderful retreat, we tend to be very hasty with our breath, maybe feel a little anxious, a little stressed. So let's just come back to the breath and notice how you are feeling. Check in with yourself, with your body. This practice is going to help you learn to connect your breath with your movement a little more. Be present. So start to notice that breath and where it is rising from. If it's rising from the chest, maybe starting to take those deep breaths from the belly. Breathing in from the belly all the way up into the nasal cavity and then out through the mouth. We'll take 3 breaths together. Maybe for this practice, you would like to place your hand over your heart and your other hand over your belly. And 2 more breaths, feeling that belly rise and fill with beautiful breath. And exhaling any stress, any tension. 1 more. Letting go of any expectations and just being. Staying with this breath Now focusing, so keeping those hands in the same place, focusing on bringing the breath even deeper from the belly, allowing the belly to expand. And then as it reaches your nose, slowly letting out an exhale through the nose. A couple more here, breathing in. And exhaling through the nose, almost making it sound like an ocean wave. Ujjayi breath. One more, breathing in. And exhale through the nose. You can gently open your eyes, maybe taking in how you're feeling. Maybe you're feeling a little bit of sensation in those legs already in this position. And just honing in on your spine. So sitting up nice and tall, tall spine to start. And next we're going to actually move on to our hands and knees. So coming into what we call a tabletop position. So you would like your hands directly underneath your shoulders, your knees underneath your hips, and then we'll have our toes tucked under. So nice and stable with this. You want those fingers nice and spread out, the knees right underneath the hips and the toes tucked underneath the heels. Beautiful. And just holding here, so noticing the breath from the belly, rising and then flowing through the nose. One more, breathing in. Feeling nice and strong, pressing in the hands and breathing out. Our next deep breath in, we're going to move into a cat-cow flow. So we'll breathe in, raising the belly button up, arching the back, tucking the chin towards the chest, rounding the spine. Breathing in here and exhale. One more, just holding this pose, breathing in, pressing through the hands, rounding the spine. And then exhale, pressing through the hands, beginning to drop the belly, holding the belly button down towards the mat, bringing the shoulders back and raising the chin up towards the sky or the ceiling. Deep breath in here. And then exhale, pressing the belly button in towards the spine, rounding the back, coming back into cat pose, feeling that beautiful stretch of the spine, and then just moving through this flow with your breath. Inhaling, now bringing your gaze up, and exhaling, rounding the shoulders, really beginning to awaken the body. Deepening that breath, maybe sinking in a little bit further back each time, maybe dropping the belly a little bit lower, maybe bringing those shoulders forward a little bit more, and just noticing how this feels from your the end of your tailbone all the way to the base of your neck. This is a beautiful way to move fluid up the spine to your brain, and allow oxygen to move freely through your body. We'll move through about 2 more. And whenever you feel complete, meeting me in our tabletop position, beginning to sway the hips from side to side. Just noticing how the hips are feeling. Hips tend to hold a lot of emotion. Maybe they're a little bit tight. And just noticing how that feels. And just beginning to make some circles with those hips. So bringing the glute all the way back towards the heels, around to one side. And seeing your breath as a circle here. So flowing with your breath, inhaling as you're coming up through your circle, exhaling as you're coming back. And whenever you feel complete on one side, knowing that yoga is a practice just for yourself and your body. So if you need to take any extra time doing something, allowing yourself to do that with no judgment, not focusing on anyone else in the room, just your own practice here, and going the other direction whenever you feel ready. Taking one more circle. Beautiful. And meeting right over tabletop here. Swaying the hips from side to side. And we're just going to come into a little stretch in the wrists. Maybe your hands are feeling some sensation already from having some weight on them. Allowing yourself to bring those fingertips back towards the knees just for a moment. And pressing into this pose here. So breath allows us to sink into these sensations that may initially be a little uncomfortable. Taking one more breath. And then exhale, bringing those fingertips back forward. Wonderful job. Next, we're just bringing our heels together and we're moving into what we call a child's pose. So sending those knees out to each side. And then whenever you're ready, bringing those heels together and then sinking back into the heels. We're gonna reach our fingers as far as they can go up towards the mat. Reaching towards the top of the mat. The chin might come towards your mat. Your forehead might reach the mat. Or maybe your chest is just hovering over the mat, whatever feels the best for you. And allowing gravity to take the work here. So sinking into this beautiful child's pose. And coming back to the breath. Noticing the breath here. Are we keeping the breath deep? Maybe bringing the forehead towards the mat now. And just sinking in, listening to my voice. With every exhale, releasing any expectations, letting go, coming into the present moment. So we'll just stay here for a few breaths to start our practice. This is such a beautiful, beautiful stretch for the hips, for the arms, for the shoulders. This is another resting pose, so if at any point in the practice you need to take a break, you can always come back to this beautiful child's pose. Taking one more deep breath in through the nose and out through the nose. Beautiful. Inhaling, pulling the belly button in towards the spine, using your core to pull you all the way up towards the hands. We're just going to sink forward for a moment in our frog extended pose. Bringing the hips towards the ground. One more breath. And exhale, sinking back into child's pose. Beautiful. Noticing how the hips are feeling here. Sinking into your heels. One more breath. And exhale, coming all the way up, pressing into the hands. Now using your core to stabilize and gently bringing those hands back underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips, and coming back into our tabletop. You can tuck the toes or untuck the toes, whatever feels good for you, and we'll just sway those hips from side to side. Beautiful. One more breath, one more sway. And whenever you are ready, coming back to center, we'll take a deep breath in and reach that right arm out in front. And exhale down to the mat. Inhale, left arm comes out front. And exhale, sending it down into the mat. This time, inhale, that right hand comes out, but then that left foot begins to send backwards towards the back of the mat. Reaching towards the back, balancing here on that left hand, that right knee, feeling that core begin to engage. For 3, 2, one, releasing. Beautiful. Moving to the other side whenever you are ready. Inhale, that left hand comes all the way up, reaching forward, reaching that right heel back, noticing the difference between the two sides, adjusting if you need, and holding for 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. We're going to go through a flow, activating our core a little bit this round. So we will inhale, send that right hand forward, left foot back, and exhale, we're bringing our right elbow and our left knee towards each other. They don't need to touch, but moving with your breath for about 3 to 5 movements. You can also stay in tabletop at any point. And exhale. Whenever you're ready, coming back to tabletop here, swaying from side to side. This is my first practice in a while as I'm a new mama, so you might hear me deep breathing a little more than usual. But that is okay. Swaying from side to side. And whenever you're ready, moving towards this left hand side, we'll inhale, raising that left hand all the way up, extending that right heel backwards, breathing. Inhale, extending, almost like we're being stretched and pulled from our toes and our fingertips, and then exhale, that elbow comes towards the knee. Inhale, reaching back. Exhale. Inhale, reaching back. Exhale. Beautiful. One more time. Inhale, reaching all the way up as high as you can. Exhale, planting that left hand on the mat. Right knee on the mat and swaying from side to side. And whenever you are ready, bringing those heels back together. Knees out wide, taking a rest in child's pose, sinking back, reaching forward, and resting. A beautiful, beautiful part of yoga is that we get to rest and recover. We take the time for our muscles to recover, and we come back to our mind, our mindfulness, checking in with the body. How is it feeling? Allowing ourselves to surrender into the mat. Taking one more breath here. And whenever you're ready, gently pulling yourself all the way up, back into this tabletop position. We'll inhale, extend that right arm all the way out. And exhale, this time we're threading it underneath that left hand. So this is called thread the needle underneath that left elbow, dropping that right shoulder, and coming into this beautiful shoulder stretch. And just pausing here. So noticing the hips, can we align them a little bit more? Can you press that right shoulder a little bit more in towards the ground? Maybe you'd like to bring that left hand all the way up and then over towards that lower back. Just sinking into this beautiful stretch. Feeling some tension release in the upper back and the shoulders for one more breath. And then we'll inhale, releasing that left hand from wherever it is, allowing it to plant on that mat, pushing up and releasing that right shoulder, bringing that right shoulder up back into tabletop, swaying from side to side. Beautiful. Inhale, that left arm reaches forward. And exhale, threading the needle underneath that right elbow, coming down into your mat. And just relaxing into this pose. Feeling the difference between the two sides here. allowing yourself to come back into the present moment, not focusing on the sensations, coming back to the breath. If your mind wanders in any holds, just allowing yourself to come back to all of the points that are touching the mat here. One more breath. Inhale, pushing into that right hand, coming all the way up into tabletop. Beautiful. Swaying from side to side. Wonderful. We'll inhale, reaching that right heel back. Deep breath in. Exhale, we're gonna send that right foot in between the hands. So it can be smooth, it can take you a minute to get there, whatever is best for you. Just allowing yourself to position yourself in this beautiful low runner's lunge. So the foot is in the middle of both hands and knees over top of the foot. We're just gonna hold here for a moment. That back toe is tucked. Deep breath in and exhale. Deep breath in, pushing up from the hands. And exhale, maybe seeing if you can bring those hands to your knee. So just feeling that beautiful deep stretch on the right outer thigh, maybe into your groin, your glutes. Beautiful. One more breath. And we'll stay nice and strong on that front foot, bringing our hands back, inhale. Exhale, reaching our hands all the way up. Gazing towards your hands for a moment. Nice strong core, strong legs. Beautiful stretch in that hamstring. Deep breath and exhale, coming all the way down. Both hands back into that lunge. Inhale, we'll come up one more time on our knees. And then exhale, sending the hands all the way up. Inhale, reaching a little bit taller, pressing into that foot. And exhale, coming all the way down. Good. And then inhale, we're gonna raise that left knee up. And just notice how that feels here. So you can rock back and forth with that back heel. Building a little bit of strength in those legs. 3, 2, and 1. Dropping the knee here. Beautiful. Pressing into the hands. Inhale. Exhale. Seeing if you can stay on your hands and that back knee and send that right heel all the way up and back. 3-legged dog here. Deep breath in. And exhale back onto the mat. Beautiful work. Bringing the hands back underneath the shoulders, shaking out the hips. And we have 2 sides, so we're about to complete our left side. Getting ready, taking those deep breaths, taking a sip of water if you need. Whenever you're ready, we'll inhale, sending that left heel all the way back. And exhale, left foot in between the hands, coming into our runner's lunge on this side. Maybe positioning in whatever way feels good in your body. Noticing that stretch, that sensation, maybe rising onto your fingertips. Coming back into the body, noticing that stretch in your inner thigh, your groin, your glutes. And exhale. Inhale to rise up, both hands onto the knee. And breathe. So you can sink into the stretch if it feels better to keep those toes tucked and rise up a little higher. Whatever feels good for you today. Exhale. And whenever you're ready, next inhale, we'll inhale, reaching all the way up. Deep breath in and exhale all the way down to the mat. Inhale, pressing into that foot, rising all the way up, reaching up as high as you can, and exhale into the mat here. Beautiful. Just holding for a moment, stretching for one more breath. We'll inhale, planting both hands. And exhale, pressing into that back knee, sending that left foot back and all the way up. Three-legged dog here. Deep breath in and exhale down into the mat. Swaying the hips from side to side. Beautiful. Next, we're going to tuck the toes and we will arrive in downward dog. So if you need to take a break, whatever you would like to do, but we will all meet in downward dog, lifting those knees, pressing those heels down towards the ground. Chest comes towards the knees. And you can walk your dog, feeling beautiful and strong in the palms of your hands. And just breathe here. Noticing how you're feeling. This is a beautiful, beautiful, active but restorative pose. Taking a couple of breaths here. One more, maybe walking your dog, feeling that beautiful sensation in the back legs. And then pausing for 2 breaths. So on these inhales and exhales, you want to send with your exhale your chest a little bit more towards the mat and facing towards the tops of your legs. One more breath here in downward dog. And then we'll inhale, reaching that right heel all the way back as high as you can. Exhale, that right knee comes towards the right elbow. We're coming into half pigeon. Beautiful hip stretch, dropping that right knee down and allowing that left leg to rest down towards the mat here. This is quite a deep stretch, so just allowing yourself to come into it in whatever way feels comfortable. Maybe you'd like to stay up on your hands. Maybe you would like to come down on your elbows. Feeling that beautiful sensation on the right hip. And we're just gonna hold here for a moment. Maybe you'd like to come all the way down, fully relax. This is a beautiful stress relieving pose. Beautiful for the hips, a beautiful way to start the day. Taking one more breath on this side. And then exhale, rising up onto the hands, tucking that back toe, engaging into the front of those hands and lifting up that back knee, using your core, coming into a plank. Just for a moment, pulling the belly button in towards the spine. Inhale, exhale back into downward dog. Wonderful. We're only on our hands for a little longer. Walking out that dog. Inhale, that left heel comes all the way up. Exhale, that left knee comes towards the left elbow, half pigeon on this side. And just noticing the difference between the two sides, not judging, not having any expectations. Just allowing yourself to sink in. Focusing on yourself and your mat. And just breathing here. Allowing your mind to focus on your breath. Our mind loves to go in all of these different places. Thinking about all the different things that are coming up in the future. Or maybe things that happened in the past. But allowing yourself to just bring yourself into the present moment. With each exhale, sinking a little further into your mat. Maybe beginning to reach the chest a little more forward. Deep breath in and exhale. One more breath, deep breath in and exhale. We're gonna rise up onto our hands, but this time we're gonna keep that left foot in and we are going to sink into that left hip and come into a seated position that that is called half tree. So we're bringing in that left foot, that right foot is out extended towards the side of our mat. On the next breath, reaching up, deep breath in, and exhale, we're just gonna come into a twist. So that back hand is going to come towards the lower back. The left hand is going to be in the front. And maybe gazing over your right shoulder. Coming back, centering yourself. Noticing how you're feeling. Checking in to see if you can deepen or slow the breaths. Slow the thoughts. One more. And exhale, coming back to center. One more to provide a little more sensation into that inner thigh. We'll take a deep breath in and exhale, sending our hands over towards that right foot. So it looks different for everyone. Sometimes maybe you'd like to send that left hand and keep the chest forward. Maybe it feels more comfortable for you to face that foot. Whatever feels best for you, your lower back. And again, coming back to the breath. Noticing how it feels to breathe from the belly here all the way up into the chest. Deep breaths, even in these constricting positions. Just allowing yourself to let go. One more. And exhale, slowly pulling the hands all the way up to center. We will inhale, pulling that right foot in. Exhale, the left foot is sent out into our half tree pose. Pressing both hip bones into the mat. If you have tight hips, which I sure do, you might need a second to adjust, especially if it's on one side. So just allowing yourself to sink into this pose, and whenever you're ready, inhaling, reaching all the way up. And exhale, coming into a twist. Left hand goes behind, right hand in front. Gaze over the left shoulder, flexing those left toes. And breathing. Maybe with each exhale, you can look a little further left. Noticing how the spine is doing. Can you sit up a little taller? Can you breathe a little deeper? Can you make that exhale just as long as that inhale? That beautiful Ujjayi breath. One more. And back to center. Beautiful. Inhale. Arms come all the way up, and exhale, shifting to the left in whatever way feels good on this side. Maybe sending that right arm towards that foot, stretching that right side body, or maybe you would like to face that foot. Bending forward. And breathing here. Beautiful, beautiful stretch. Anyone with lower back pain, but ensuring to breathe and just relax for 2 more breaths. And exhale, slowly bringing the hands all the way up. Sending that right foot all the way out. We're coming into a wide-legged fold here. So heels out as far as is comfortable for you today, and shifting the pelvis backwards so that you're sitting up nice and tall. We'll inhale, reaching all the way up, and exhale, folding forward. So noticing how this feels in the inner thighs. Making any adjustments you might need. Maybe it feels better if you have your stance a little bit wider, maybe bringing the hands together, but just noticing if you have any neck tension, any tension in the upper back, just completely allowing yourself to sink in and relax. If it's too much sensation, you can always come up a little bit more on your elbows or on your hands and just sink in, whatever feels good for your body today. Taking one more breath here. Then we'll inhale, using the core to slowly lift yourself up. Maybe placing the hands on the hips, pulling the belly button in towards the spine and arriving up. We will bring that right foot to meet the left and begin to face the top of our mat in a supine, half supine pose. Legs straight out in front of us. One more stretch here. Inhale, reaching all the way up. And exhale, folding forward over towards those toes. Just allowing your head to relax in towards your knees. Deep breath in and exhale. Deep breath in and exhale. Beautiful. Coming all the way back up on that next breath. And we will meet in our waterfall pose. So sinking onto the back, nice and slowly. Beautiful, palms of the hands into the mat. We're gonna start with the feet on the mat at first and just noticing how it feels to be supine. Maybe you need to windshield wiper your knees from side to side, getting used to the sensation on your back. Awakening that lower spine, giving that back a little bit of a massage. Always feels so beautiful to finally be supine. One more breath here, and whenever you're ready, bringing those heels all the way up into our waterfall pose. So bringing our toes, reaching them towards our crown of our head. The hands on the mat stayed beautiful and strong. It's a beautiful, strong pose. Maybe you'd like to just guide those legs so that they're as even as you can make them. And then whenever you feel like you're in a complete position, allowing yourself to relax into it. Sinking those hips down, that pelvis down. If you're feeling some shaking, that is perfectly okay. It means yoga is doing its work here. And just breathing for 3 breaths. Last breath. And on that inhale, dropping the heels and beginning to guide the knees towards the chest, hugging the chest in, or the knees into the chest. And exhaling, maybe giving our spine a little bit more of a massage, bringing those knees up and in circles. So going a few ways over towards one side, and then whenever you feel complete, beginning to go towards the other side. Beautiful. Beautiful, moving with the breath, focusing on that deep breath. And coming into our final posture. Because I'm a new mom, I had to end with happy baby. So bringing those 2 fingers towards those big toes and just allowing yourself to lift those heels up. So the inside of the elbow might be touching the knees and doing whatever's comfortable for you. So extending those heels up towards the ceiling or the sky. Rocking from side to side. This is a beautiful stretch for those inner thighs. And then maybe you'd like to activate those inner thighs by pressing those knees nice and strongly into those beautiful supportive arms. For 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. Releasing the toes, hugging in those knees. And we are coming into our meditation, so gently, as slowly as you can, nice and slow, controlled movements, sending those heels down, adjusting yourself on your mat if you need to, and coming into a resting posture all the way on your back. You can do this a couple of ways. So you can send the heels all the way down into a straight leg posture, or if it feels better You can bring those feet up into a reclining butterfly, or you can allow those knees to come together into an inverted butterfly. But wherever you would like to rest, just allowing yourself to sink into the mat. Here I would invite you to, if you wanted to put on your sweater for this meditation, or a blanket here, whatever feels good for you, to just keep yourself nice and warm as you cool down, sinking into your mat and focusing on my voice just for the next minute or so. The hands can be facing up, the palms, or facing down on the mat. Taking one last deep breath in from the belly, and exhale through the mouth. Coming into the shallow breath. Coming into your natural pattern of breathing here, calming the mind. And we're going to move through a beautiful progressive relaxation from our head to our toes. Allowing any thoughts about the past or future to slowly float away, just focusing on my voice and focusing on where you can relax. So imagining that there's a beautiful wave going from the top of your body all the way down, and it can be any color that you'd like. It can be yellow, purple, it can be warm, whatever you'd like to imagine it to be. And it's just going to begin to touch the top of your hairline. So starting to relax that area, moving into your forehead, relaxing your eyebrows, relaxing your eyelashes, your eyelids, relaxing the space between your eyebrows, and moving down into your cheeks, your nose, coming into stillness here, relaxing into your mouth, dropping the tongue from the roof of your mouth, down into your chin, your neck, down into your chest, your shoulders, all the way down into your torso, all of your inner organs, your hips, your arms, down into your fingertips. And without moving, just noticing with your mind, feeling all of those areas relaxing into your hips, your thighs, your knees, and your calves, all the way down until you reach the tips of your toes. And then focusing on my voice here, keeping those eyes closed if you can, and just remaining in beautiful present stillness for a moment. While you are in stillness, I have a beautiful book that I love to read passages from. So while you remain in this meditation, I'm just going to flip to a page and read one of the beautiful readings in here. Trust what you know. As you grow, as you evolve, as you continue on this journey, you'll discover many special abilities, gifts, and powers. One is in an increased sense of knowingness. We will begin to understand events and people on a level much deeper than we experienced before. We will begin to know the feeling of a person, place, or thing. We will begin to feel its energy, not just its matter or physical form. We'll talk to a person for a while and know if that person feels trapped, feels like a victim, or feels free. We'll know if a place holds energy that's good for us, or we'll know that the energy isn't right for us, doesn't currently complement our needs. We won't judge. We'll just know, and we'll know what to do. Power appears when we open the heart. We find the powers of love, comfort, faith, and joy. There are other powers too that come along the way. One of these is the quiet power of trusting what we know. Open your heart. Let it show you what it knows. Learn to trust what you know. You're wiser than you think. And in your meditative state, just begin to wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, keeping your eyes closed but rocking your head from side to side. And if you are still in a supine position, gently rolling onto your right side, keeping those eyes closed, cradling your head in your elbow, taking a deep breath in. And exhale, pressing into that left hand, rising all the way up into a seated position with your hand at heart center. Taking a deep breath in and smile. Namaste. Thank you for engaging in this practice with me. That was very beautiful. I hope that you enjoyed it. I will say I am a little rusty since I've been on mat leave, so excuse me if I didn't, I tripped over my words a little bit, but I hope that you enjoyed. I would love now, so you don't need your pen and paper, but if you do have a pen and paper, you can bring that forward here. And I would just like to end this session with a bit of a gratitude exercise. So I'm bringing my journal as well. And if you don't have a pen and paper, I would just love for you to stay in a meditative state. So while sitting up, with your eyes closed, as I guide us through this. So we're doing 3 gratitude type exercises. The first one is I would like for you to write down or think about 5 things that you are grateful for. So anything that you can be grateful for. And I will just give you some time to do that. If you're thinking of any examples and you're not quite at 5, I'll share a couple of mine. So both of the ones I'm going to share are about my body. So my body being able to move me from A to B, it's a blessing that we tend to take for granted. And my second one is my breath. So I'm very thankful for my breath that gives me life. Another thing that we tend to take for granted as well. And if you are ready to move on to the next exercise, we're going to spend some time thinking of 5 things that we love about another person in our lives. So you can think of the person and then 5 qualities that really are beautiful for them as a person or that enhance your life or anything that they do for you and that they kind of embody that you just love about them, and send them a little bit of love. And the next one are 5 things that you would love to accomplish for yourself. So we're in a season of autumn. For a lot of people, it feels like a new beginning. I don't know if it's because we are so used to starting school at this time, maybe sending kids to school, or But September always feels like new beginnings for a lot of people. So maybe setting some goals. So you can pause this, whatever works for you, but just setting some goals, even if it's to walk a little bit more every day or incorporate yoga practice, something that you would like to have established by next autumn and next fall, now that you're in a state of relaxation and gratitude, to think of a few things that you would like to move forward with this next beautiful year and season. And like I said, you can pause. Sometimes it takes a little bit to think, but not overcomplicating it. Anything that you would like to work on. And whenever you are ready, just looking around at all of the amazing people around you that are at this beautiful conference. I wish I was there, but thank you so much for practicing with everyone around you and connecting with everyone and connecting with me. I'm honored to have led this session, and namaste.